Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Look who's in hot pursuit. Doodles. Pushing that 16-and-a-half-year-old mark. Just wanted to take a quick second, guys, check in with you, talk about something that's super important. So you hear a lot of talk about, sorry, I'm like banging the camera all over the place here. I'll stop moving. You hear a lot of talk about not correcting dogs around things that might create negative associations, right? So there's a ton of talk about don't correct your dog around people, don't correct your dog around other dogs, or any trigger, anything like that. Hey Manny, join the party, bud. Anything like that where your dog's growling, barking, lunging in a negative state, don't correct them. You have to create a positive association with them, with the trigger. And so if you correct, you're going to create a negative association and you're going to make your dog worse. You're going to make your dog more afraid of people, more reactive to people, more afraid of dogs, more reactive to dogs, more afraid of the trash truck, and on and on and on. So it's a conversation that comes up a ton, and there's, I won't even go into the whole like training world camps that are divided among ideologies and blah, blah, blah. I'll just speak to what I know from what I see from personal experience, right? Which is that we've had, I don't know how many dogs come through, a lot of dogs, over 1,000 dogs, I'd say, by this time. And most of them come in with reactivity, aggression, fear. Also, we typically get pretty heavy duty guys. And, hey man, and we've addressed, as I've said in multiple videos and blogs, that we address mindset, right? Overall state of mind, make sure the relationship's right, get the dog into a good space mentally, psychologically, so they're de-stressed, and remove the anxiety, make sure that they're in a good space in that capacity. But then we also address specifically the issues of reactivity or aggression or reacting, right? And this is super controversial, and it causes a lot of consternation in the dog training world, a lot of conflicting opinions. I just want to share what we've seen, which is that with all these dogs that come through, like Wilson just had his checkup yesterday. So Wilson, who came in with tons of reactivity and biting and aggression issues, and a lot of people saw his video or videos, and his owner is so thrilled, so pleased. They're still working on stuff, and it's still a work in progress, but his owner was so thrilled and so pleased with how much progress Wilson's made. And so Wilson is a great example of that exact multi-pronged approach of like state of mind, overall obedience, respect, correct relationship, making sure the dog's being led by the human so he can defer and feel comfortable and relaxed to the human or with the human, and then also addressing any kind of reactivity. And we did that with Wilson. If he growled, if he lunged at me or anybody else in our camp, or anybody on a walk, or dogs, or anything like that. And Wilson quickly learned what was acceptable and what was not acceptable, what kind of behavior was going to be okay and not okay. Really clear, binary, black and white, simple information, right? And so according to the theory of that we'd make him worse, then Wilson should have come in to TGD yesterday being a basket case, right? Being a guy who's like a total wreck because he's been corrected around people. He should be worse with us. He should be lunging, he should be barking, he should be growling, he should be doing all that. Instead, he came and he just laid down. And he laid down in place, and his owner was like, he would have never done this before. He would have never just laid here calmly and relaxed. And he was so thrilled about just that simple concept, or that simple reaction from his dog, who he really couldn't take anywhere because he was dangerous, being able to just put him put him in place, and he just chilled out and relaxed. His owner was so happy about that, and we were obviously super happy as well. And so that's just Wilson. We've got, like I said, upwards of 1,000 dogs, case studies, not scientific studies of dogs not being trained in the real world, dogs that don't actually have real issues, laboratory stuff that doesn't really represent what goes on in real life. What we have are case study after case study, and the same thing with other trainer friends that I know, of dogs with bad behavior, making bad choices, being reactive or aggressive, and being corrected fairly for that, right? They have to understand the tools and they have to understand the concepts, but being corrected for those bad choices, and those bad choices getting less and less and less and less and less and less and less, and the good dog getting better, 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 better. We see it over and over and over again. As a training company, sorry, I've got like a raspberry seed in my tooth. As a training company, if we didn't see that, we'd be, for one, probably out of business. For two, there's flies everywhere. For two, we would be seeing dogs that were a wreck, dogs going home in a bad space. We would be really, really, really disappointed with our results and what kind of dog training product we were putting out. Instead, we see owners that have tried all sorts of everything else, positive reinforcement, trying to create positive associations with their dog around the things that they're freaked out about. And I've seen nothing but owners struggle and struggle and struggle. They come to us as kind of a last resort. They've been worried, they've been scared, they've been told all of these things. There's so much information out there that's built on fear stuff about, like I just said, right? What could be worse for an owner than thinking that correcting their dog is going to make them worse? So that's the rhetoric. That's what's getting thrown around. Do this, and you're going to make your dog worse. So owners are terrified to do that kind of stuff, or to send their dog to a training place where they're going to be corrected for any of that stuff, because they're afraid they're going to make them worse. So, really fly heavy. So it's a complex situation as far as like information going on, what people are hearing, what owners are having to deal with. I really feel for owners trying to make sense of this whole situation because of all the conflicting information. So all I want to do is throw my hat in the ring, or my opinion out there, and my experience out there, and let you guys know what we've seen. And what we've seen is that if you don't correct the behavior, if you don't address it, if you don't actually tell the dog no for that stuff, you aren't going to see the behavior improve. You aren't going to see your dog get better. And more importantly, if you do correct, if you do tell your dog no for these behaviors that you don't want, you're not going to ruin the relationship. You're not going to make your dog worse. You're not going to make your dog more aggressive. You're not going to make your dog more reactive. You're going to make him less reactive, less aggressive. The thing I always try and explain to people is that when they have a reactive dog, that's regardless of whether it's fearful or pushy or bratty or whatever it is, and they're reactive to dogs, they're reactive to people, or whatever it might be, those feelings of reactivity are already there. The dog's already uncomfortable with whatever it is. The negative association, sorry, super fly heavy. The negative association is already there, right? There's the concern about like we're going to unnerve our dogs or create negative associations. Like that ship has sailed. It's too late. Your dog's already got a negative association. Your dog already doesn't like other dogs, or wants to be reactive around other dogs because he's worried, or because he wants to get to them, or whatever it might be, or around people. Your dog is reactive and growling. That he's already got the feeling. He already doesn't feel comfortable for whatever the reason might be. So we kind of have to let go of this being afraid of correcting, fly managing, correcting and addressing, that we're going to create negative associations. The negative associations, guys, they're already there. They're already in play. Your dog's already experiencing it. That's why you're looking for dog training. That's why you're looking for help. That's why you're watching this video or other videos and trying to find your way and try and make sense of it. It's already there. The negative crap is already there. I can't make that any clearer. Your dog is reacting like it's already happening, right? So let's make it better. And contrary to the information flying around out there that you're going to make it worse by correcting or addressing, and that you're going to create negative associations, it's just not true. We've seen it over and over and over and over again with all kinds of dogs with the behaviors emanating from all different places, and we see that when we tell a dog no for something that we don't want, that we know is a negative behavior for them, they don't create negative associations with that trigger. They create, for the first time, an opportunity, a gateway, if you will, for your dog to perceive that trigger in a different way without all the emotionality behind it. I hope that makes sense. When you block, when you correct, and don't allow your dog to escalate and get into this aroused negative space, you actually open the gate in your dog's mind for the first time for your dog to perceive whatever that is, whatever that trigger is, in a different way, in a more positive way. It's the first time they get to experience it without all the adrenaline, without all of the rush of, you know, the growl, the bark, all of the emotional cycle that they go through. You break that and you create the open door for them to go, oh wow, there's that dog and nothing bad's happening. Or, oh wow, there's that person and nothing bad's happening. Or there's that trash truck, or whatever it is. By correcting and blocking, you actually open that gateway, of course with the rest of the training and everything else, but you open that gateway, you open that door for a dog, or for your dog, to actually perceive whatever it is, excuse me, in a different way. And that's the beginning, guys. That's the beginning of transformation. You open that door and you show your dog how to walk through it, and you create the beginning of transformation from a reactive, aggressive, negative state of mind to a positive, healthy state of mind. So that's my take. I want to share that with you. I want you guys to understand my experience. It's not based on books. It's not based on scientific studies. It's based on dogs that have come through, that we've had our actual hands on, that we've worked with directly, and that we've sent home to their homes, to their owners, and watched them exceed, watch them excel, watch them succeed, watch them do well. So I hope that helps. It's a really important message. I was hoping it'd be 5 minutes or under, but you know me, that rarely happens. I hope it helps. Share this with anybody that you think might need help, or might be conflicted, or might be kind of in you know, stuck in that space of doing positive only training with a reactive dog and struggling with results, or they're afraid to go try something to make their dog better. Share this with them so they can at least get a different perspective. Doesn't mean they have to believe it, doesn't mean they have to buy it, doesn't mean you have to believe it or buy it, but I at least want you to hear the opinion, the perspective, the firsthand experience, and then you guys can run with it. Do your own research, watch videos from us and anybody else, and then make an informed decision from there. So that's all I wanted to share. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I am going to go get my day started and get things rocking. You guys take it easy. Talk to you soon. Bye.